get on with this start.
Oh, Sam, it's been a while since I've commentated at a race start with you. Well, I'm happy to do that again. Here we go. Sam, for the race start, Sim Racer has lined up on the grid. Lap 1 will be underway in a few seconds. It's a long run down to turn 1. Third place will really get an advantage over the other drivers with the tow. Who's going to be leading going into turn 1? A lot of incidents can happen through there. You saw an incident of Carlos Sainz into turn 1, and can we see that again as the Russian Grand Prix is underway with, let's just take a look at what's happening here. The front, it's a 3 wide, and that's just done. Getting himself into P1. What a start by the Racing Point driver. And there's a 3 wide, and that's a crash. There's a Racing Point going off right there. And going into the walls, Fempass retakes the lead of the Grand Prix. And it's one of the Racing Points out as Fempass still leads the Grand Prix in this first few meters. And I must say, as Kyle Smith gets the time penalty, what a mess of a race start that we just had. Fempass still leads the way. The Racing Point jumped jumped Rockabet, so the positions are Fempass leads ahead of Darren, Howell, Rockamed, Leah, Barlow, Blaze, and then you have following Blaze, Peanut. Who else is there?
Oh, I've just seen, yeah, Legend's name is back on the timing tower. I've just noticed that. We don't have a blank space anymore. Success. But I was too preoccupied to see Fempass re-overtake Darren because I saw an absolute massive crash between Teddy and Alfie. They were basically making love to each other against the wall for the entirety of the first straight. I have no idea how neither of them DNF from the race, but they both have severe damage and they both will most definitely have to pit from this race.
Oh, look at that. There's a battle going on here for P9. And, well, the virtual safety car is over. We're back racing. There's a Mercedes struggling there. That's Peanut. He does have wind damage. And you see everyone changing places from P8 to P16. You see a lot of position changes. Halo is going to lose back to some places. Is he going to come into the pits, I wonder? A couple of drivers will pit. And let's just take a look at the positions gained and lost. Lazy Peanut coming into the pits. And, well, Beast, Zach Beast, what a start by Beast. Is up into P10. I wonder if that's just a glitch. Hopefully that is not. But I'm looking at him. He's in P5 and just behind Jimmo. I think that's a glitch, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that will just be a glitch. Hopefully it'll mend itself by the end of lap 2. But we have a fantastic 3-way battle on our hands here for the lead. 4-way battle even with Rockamad staying with them. Leah and Legend aren't too far away either, but two of the main challengers in Teddy and Alfie are already effectively out of this race unless there's a safety car, and well, that is going to be, they're not going to be happy with that, and they are well down and they're going to have a lot of work to do. As will Rockamad, as despite Teddy and Alfie having a bit of an incident, he still lost 2 positions from the start and has a bit of work to do if he wants to get up and challenge the race leaders.
Indeed, Sam. And, well, Fempass still leads the way. Of course, Darren is not gonna give out that easily. Darren, I believe that's his debut here in Division 2, his debut in Summit League Racing. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but Darren, second place in his first race here. That is fantastic stuff by Darren. The Racing Point is going to try to chase down Fempass, who's leading the way and ahead of everyone. Howell is in third place, and now that the gaps are, I believe, correct, it is time to see.
Legend is making a move here on Leah. Oh, he thinks better of it. He was going to go up the inside of turn 2, but he decides to back out of it. Does the driver in the Red Bull. Yeah, Leah is still under pressure here. Legend is biding his time here a little bit. I do believe that Leah and Legend I think they may share parties for races, so perhaps they're saying to each other that they'll perhaps work together for this early stage of the race. Leah has a lot more ERS than the Red Bull driver, so that could also be a factor.
Wow, Sam, Leah is really trying to defend now for P5, and, well, I couldn't say that before, but now it's a good time in lap 3, now that the DRS has been activated. That is surely gonna give Blaze a little bit of a... Oh, that's not Blaze, that is Legend. A little bit of an advantage over Leah. He is within the 1 second as Halo overtakes his teammates down in P13. But now, here we go, Legend trying to get the move done on Leah. Leah is not gonna give the position that easily, and we're starting to see a train of cars from P1 to P4. Fempe's trying to get away, but here we go. Darren and Howell moved up some places. Rockamad lost 2. Look at this. Scopes moved up 9 places at the start of the race. SLR Bunny gets a time penalty. Smith got 6 places. Mengs got 4. So, wow, that's quite interesting, I must say. Now that the DRS is activated, Sam, Legend just gets it in the final second, trying to keep up with Leah. Oh, look at that, there's a battle here going on. Howell and Rockamad fighting for P3 to fight for the podium at this particular moment. Smith goes up into P7, and Zach B's moved up into P11. Scopes is fighting with Smith there, it's still going. Here we go, then around the outside goes Scopes, and up into P7 he goes. Well, trying to defend now from Smith, fighting for him. Fighting with him for P7, quite interesting battle between them. Let's just take a look at the tires. The top 8 are on a set of softs, and the gap between Darren and Fempas is getting quite close, I must say. Fempas is not gonna have an easy Grand Prix whatsoever. He's surely gonna struggle to get away from Darren's gap between himself and him, as we do have another time penalty. Owen Howell is gonna be under pressure at the end of the straight. DRS is gonna be activated for Rockamad, losing all of his ERS. Trying to get past him down the inside, going into the next corner. Here we go. It is Rockamad up into P3, but Howell, what a fantastic move! That is what I call a switchback. What a move by Owen Howell. This is the McLaren. He drifts through turn 16. What a move by the McLaren, and that is exactly what we want to see in the Division 2.
Yes, that is exactly what we want to see. Rockamad went a little bit deep there when he made his move, and Owen saw that opportunity, held it around the outside nicely. Some very, very nice, very, very fair racing between the two drivers. And
again, Sam.
But now Rockamad, this is a lot of easier move, and Rockamad does comfortably take the position. I wonder whether Owen can use Rockamad's DRS here, as Rockamad does look to have a lot better pace. But a driver who also has reasonable pace, but is perhaps in a little sticky situation at the moment, is Darren. He has picked up a time penalty. Now, that is certainly going to affect his race later on. He's got more ERS than Fempest, but he does have that 3 seconds to be added onto his time at the end of the race.
Oh, Rockamad and Owen Howell really fighting here. I'm looking at Rockamad's onboard camera as he will just looking back at Owen Howell. How Howell no, I can't believe it to say that. How Owen is close to him is quite fantastic. Look at him. As I always love to say, like a shark underwater, just really chasing you down, and it's quite scary if you ask me. There's what's happening there, Sam.
Gone round. RRL Sim Racer has had a little bit of a spin, and he has dropped down all the way into P16. He's not picked up damage from it, but he had a bit of a spin and a crash in qualifying, and he's done the same here in the race. Bit of a baptism of fire, I must say, for the Ferrari driver in his first full-time race in Division 2.
Yes, hopefully you guys noticed the new changes here in the stream. Not only the quality of the stream that I finally nailed, but now we do have some new graphics, animations. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, tell you what, those 8 hours into those graphics were worth it, I must say.
Oh, Sim Racer has gone for a spin again.
Oh no! I do not wanna. I do not wanna call him Nikita Sim Racer. But look at this, he does have wing damage now in this lap of the Grand Prix. A little bit of a screen freeze. Now everything is working fine. And wow, look at that! I'm looking at the stream, and oh my goodness, what's happening? Oh my God!
Oh,
what's going on? What is going on?
Hello, IT. Can you turn it off and on again?
Okay. What on earth is going on?
I have no idea. That is weird.
That is terrible.
Well, what are we gonna do?
I have no clue. Is it back? Is it back? Kind of.
It's backward at about 2 pixels.
Okay, let's just hope it's gonna sort itself out. At least we do have something. At least people can see, oh, it's getting better. It's getting better. Slowly but surely. Oh my goodness, I almost had a heart attack. Oh, it's getting better now. Oh my goodness me. That was scary. I have never felt so frightened in my entire life. But we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
We've got in oil painting mode, but it's still going to be a good watch. We can still see everything that's going on. And one thing that we can most definitely see that's going on is just how much Darren is making Fempest work for this race lead. Fempest has dropped down to 30% ERS. Darren is running at 60%. And the two of them certainly going to be dueling for the rest of this race, I think. Darren is going to want to make this move as soon as possible as Zach is beast and Menz are battling. As Menz hits the back of him and loses a bit of his wing. Oh, Menz is on the alternate strategy as well. That is really clumsy from the driver in the AlphaTauri. And he just didn't need to do that, and that's really compromised his race.
Indeed, mate. Indeed, Smith is on the back of Scopes as well. I believe the paint animation that we have is literally Sim Racer just hacking our stream and well, saying you're not gonna broadcast me spitting and crashing. Not today, mate. Scopes is under pressure. We see Darren is now as close as he's ever been to Fempest. Now look at the battle between them. Tell you what, 7 laps into this Grand Prix, and we're having such an interesting. Oh, here we go, me with the interesting again. But we're having such a fun Grand Prix and full of action, and you wouldn't really expect that from Russia. As I'm looking, let me see. Can I get the tire info of one of those drivers? Yeah, I can get it from Darren. His tires are over 60% on the right, front right, 52 on the front left. So I can really see the rear tires and the front left getting hurt a little bit with those with this track layout. What do you reckon is the ideal lap time to pit, Sam?
Or I'd say anywhere from now is a decent lap to pit. I think in Division 2, or you can have a look at the gaps that are forming between all of the drivers, and we can just see that where they're going to go out, they're going to quite likely end up in some kind of traffic. So in Division 2, I'd be inclined to say you pit later than you would potentially in perhaps Elite, for example. Elite, you've kind of got to go for the undercut. Everyone's quite closely bunched together. But here it's also a lot about traffic and whether you come out in clean air or not.
Here we go, Sam. I'm taking a look here at the top 2, and it looks like Darren is closing in the gap. Well, I don't know when the pit window is gonna be, but I can tell you something. Undercut, overcut. This is surely something that's gonna happen between a lot of those drivers. That is a battle going on between the top 2, Rockamad and the McLaren of Howell are having a little go at each other for P4. Leah is in P5, quite a long way ahead of behind actually the top 4. So, well, undercut, overcut, what would you go with here today, Sam?
I would personally go with the overcut. You're going to have fresher tires near the end of the race. As hang on, Darren has taken the lead.
Wow!
Squeeze Fempest a little bit, but that is a nice, very, very aggressively moved back onto the racing line, and Darren has taken the position. They both have a similar amount of ERS after that move, so it's going to be quite difficult for Darren to break away from that 1 second, but entering the pit phase, that is a very, very pivotal move for Darren.
Oh, now Smith is going to come into the pits. Darren takes the lead in a perfect time at the Grand Prix. You really want to be leading going into the pits because both of the drivers will be on the same set of tires. So, well, as they approach now, they're gonna approach the straight. Let me just go with him. No messing around with all the positions. Blue flags. I wonder if that's a glitch. Hopefully it is a glitch from the game. But Darren still leads, and well, Darren on his first Grand Prix here in Summer League Racing is well. That is a great way to put on a first impression, isn't it?
Yes,
dominate.
he put on a first impression. I just want to kind of add something. This is his second race, and he put on a fantastic first impression last week in Singapore, as Darren has gone for the undercut here.
Oh, here we go, Darren now into
and
the
the
pits.
other three have stayed out.
Now, Sam, which tires?
Mediums all day long. Mediums will comfortably make the end from here. The hards are a lot slower around this track. The game says that the soft hard is about 6 seconds slower than the soft medium, so for me, kind of, it's a no-brainer really to choose the mediums. But it will be interesting to see whether Darren's found a little pocket of space for himself, or whether he's going to come out in traffic. Jaylee Menz, and it might be worth keeping an eye on Jaylee Menz and SSR Halo most notably, because I think they could be rejoining very, very near where Darren is. And look at that, Darren has rejoined right behind Drastic Blaze.
Oh, that is great. That is great news for him. Lee Menz and SSR Halo having a little go at each other. Halo, who has pitted, I believe. Let me just check. Can I get it? No, he hasn't. So Darren, who is pitted, is now fighting with Smith on fresher tires. He should easily go past him into turn 5. Oh no. Cal Smith gets a time penalty, but looks like Darren used a little bit too much of the curb, and he's gonna, well, at least get not an invalidation, but a warning. That's not great news for him, especially here in Washington.
He just picked up another one there as well. I think he just picked up another one there as well, so I think he's very, very close to another penalty. I would not be surprised if Darren ends this race on at least 6 seconds of pens, but that little bit of traffic in Drastic Blaze, I think, would have probably cost him around about half a second to a second here, as the other drivers in the top 3 are now reacting to that. Well, I say that. The top 2 are. Owen Howe 36 is going for the super undercut, you might say. I think he might have been told by his race engineer that he will be rejoining behind Menz and Halo if he enters the pit lane now, as Darren, there we are, picks up another penalty. But where is he going to rejoin compared to Fempest?
Darren is crossing the line, and he's gonna, let's see who's gonna be leading. Well, who's gonna get the provisional lead of the Grand Prix? And that lead of the Grand Prix is gonna be Darren. And the undercut, let me tell you something, Sam, I don't think that Darren's pitted in lap 9, because, well, he's pitted lap 9, but not just to get the undercut. I believe he was to try and avoid an undercut by Fempest, and that's quite interesting because, well, he's pitted earlier. He's he's over 1 second ahead of Fempest this particular moment. So that means, well, I believe it's more than 1 second, but well, I must say, Fempest now pits in the ideal lap time to pit, which is lap 10 to lap 14. And, well, from now to the end of the race, of course, if we don't have any safety cars or anything like that, we should be expecting Fempest to be quite faster than Darren. But let's just take a look at this. It's a battle going on. Sam, SSR Halo and Menz fighting wheel to wheel, going into turn 12. And look at that, Rockamat in between them. At this particular moment, he's going to start to go around the outside.
Rockamat is losing so much time to Owen here.
Fantastic stuff.
Owen could pull off the overcut here on Rockamad if he's had a good enough in-lap, because Rockamad is losing so much time here. If I was Owen, I would have perhaps even stayed out an extra lap, because he is losing so much time as Rockamad to these drivers.
Oh, Blaze is going to come in. Where is how
yes,
going to come out?
Owen now pits, so this is going to be a very, very pivotal point in the race. Menz has stayed out with his damage, and Owen is coming out just ahead of Menz.
Jimo
as Fempest picks a penalty.
Jimo is in between. What's that?
That was an interesting one. Owen and Menz made contact on pit exit.
Sorry, mate. 3 wide into turn 1. Gotta commentate that one.
Oh,
look at that. Oh, Hickling in between them. Hickling, wow. The Red Bull looking to get some points. We're going too wide through turn 3, and that's gonna open up some space for Scopes to get the position on him. Great stuff between them. It doesn't matter which position you're in. Those drivers will literally give their lives to get the position.
Yeah, that was a fantastic little 3 wide scrap there, and Lear and Scopes, the Alfa Romeo duo, working together and have both successfully gained the position on their fresher tyres. As we're now watching Fempest and Jimmo, Fempest makes a clean move on Jimmo. And Sim Racer has just now retired in the pits. But something we must point out is SLR Fempest picked up a 3-second time penalty. That now means that he has one less penalty than Darren. So if Darren could pull that gap out, then he may still be good for the race victory here. He says the fastest lap of the race. Fempest lost 2/10 on that lap, and this is not over.
Well, Speeder gets a time penalty, and Sam, I must say, as Jimmo now is looking to stay out. You see some drivers pitting. Zach Beast is pitching alongside Lee Menz. Owen Howell made a fantastic move, and ahead of Halo he went. SSR Halo, who, well, doesn't look like he has any type of wing damage. Meanwhile, his teammates, I'm looking here, and he does have wing damage. I think. No, he doesn't. Sorry, take that back. I saw one driver with wing damage. Must be just me having hallucinations. As Peanut retires from the session, and that was in the pit lane. Another driver out of the session. Let's see what else we have here in store for us. Now Darren leads by
penalty as well. And that's what we have. We have a Rockerman 73 3-second time penalty, which now means that Owen is the only driver inside the top 4 to not pick up a penalty. It's very, very impressive from the McLaren driver. As look at these top guys and how far they are ahead of LSW Legend, who's the next driver, kind of in an effective P5 at the moment. Legend after pit stops, as Leah and Bunny are going side by side here, but Leah's got the position on Bunny.
Yeah, Bunny in P9. You see the fresh new tires doing their job. Bunny in P9 at this particular moment, but well, his teammate is yet to pit. SSR Halo Jimmo is doing a fantastic job. Started on, well, I don't think he started on those same set of tires. Look at this, Bunny trying to defend here, well, doing a very nice job in doing so. Fastest through the third sector is Howell, Men's fastest through the middle sector, and now with the slipstream, with the DRS, it should be an easy task for Scope to get himself into the top 9, into the inside he goes, and that is it. Scopes goes ahead of the Haas into turn 1, but the Haas still fights back. Look at this, it's mediums versus Haas, versus hards, I should say, not Haas, and as Scopes makes his way up into P9, that's a good move by the Alfa Romeo. Just behind now Leah in P8. Leah, who is 3rd in the championship, he is a race winner. Drastic, that's not Drastic Plays, that is Legend in P7 at this particular moment. But Rockamat all over the back of his teammates, and oh, I mean, Sam, he's on his gearbox. Should we see a team move here?
Yes, I think we should. Jimmo, he does predictably get nicely out of the way of Rockamad. He's entering his pit window roundabout now at the moment as well, so I would expect Jimmo to be in for a set of softs in the next couple of laps anyway. Might bother Owen for a couple of laps before then, help out Rockamad a bit, give him Rockamad's penalty, but other than that, he should be in relatively soon, I should think, and he'll be charging near the end of the race.
Howell now on fresher tires compared to Jimmo. We could be seeing a move happening in the next few minutes, so keep our eyes on him. Howell now through turn 1 he goes, close it in very fast in the end. Jimmo is not gonna let him through, not just like he did on his teammate. Let's see what he can do here in this part of the race. Lap 15 out of the 27. We just got past halfway through the race. So here we go. Jimmo trying to defend now into turn 3. Long way to the end of this corner. Is he gonna do a Lewis Hamilton 2018 and dive down the inside? No, he's not. He's gonna think better of it. Here we go. Trying to have a good go into turn 5. Here we go. Down the inside goes the McLaren of Howell. And well, Jimmo is not letting him do the move. Go for the move that easily, but he doesn't really count at all. He's gonna go for it anyways. This Menz gets a fantastic lap on it, and I guess the fastest lap of the race. Good lap by Menz, trying to put on a recovery drive, and he's going very quickly indeed.
Yes, he is, and a driver who's also going quickly indeed. And it kind of looks like he's controlling the gap to Darren, or perhaps at a bit more pace than him, is SLR Fempest. He's very, very motivated here. He's very, very close behind the Racing Point driver, and the gap did get as high as 2 seconds, but it looks like the Mercedes driver kind of has that a bit under control. It's kind of staying at around about 1.5 seconds, and yeah, he's in quite a good position at the moment, Fempest, to take the race victory after penalties, I believe.
Yeah, Scopes is in P9. He's pitted already. Look at him. Just drifting through turn 16 as Rockamat gets the fastest third sector. So that means that Rockamat is pushing quite a lot as Jimo comes into the pits. Let's just take a look at him. Jimo now started P17. Jimo now putting on a set of softs. He's going to try to go for the alternate strategy, and let's see if he can do anything about it. Where is he gonna come out? I wonder, Sam. 2.1 pit stop, that's quite quick by the Renault team. Going into the next few. Coming out of the pits now is Jimo. I don't think he's gonna come out in a great position. That's P13. Not anymore, as the AlphaTauri blast past him and going into turn 1. Barlow is gonna make up a place. Well, I don't think he's gonna be there for long. The softs versus the hards. Surely we're gonna see a move going into turn 4.
Yeah, Jimo is going to have mountains more grip than Barlow, and he's got to be careful not to run into the back of the AlphaTauri here, as he's going to have so much more pace. I don't think Barlow is going to make this too difficult.
He is!
But they make another.
They make contact.
They do make contact.
And,
yeah.
As Barlow's gonna start to come back at him, and Sam, I gotta ask you this: Barlow sitting in P14 on a set of hards, Jimo on a set of softs. Do you think that was a little bit of a brain dead moment by Barlow? No disrespect to him, but why would you fight a driver on fresh new softs? What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. It's kind of a weird one because it was quite a half-hearted move by Jimo, and it's just this little bit of contact between the pair of them, and I don't think there's too much in that one. It's nothing too bad, I imagine. Just but yeah, Barlow is kind of just waiting for a safety car, I think, in his race. That's kind of what a lot of the field needs to. And kind of what this race needs, I think, to liven it up a bit. A safety car would certainly spice this race up. Put the likes of Leah and Scopes right back in it, and give some of the leaders a bit of a headache in terms of what tyres they choose. As interestingly, speaking of the leaders, Fempest is closed now to within a second of Darren. Got a bit of a battle for the lead here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. 47 viewers, thank you guys for joining the stream. And as Leah gets a time penalty, I must say, the battle between the top two is gonna get quite tasty, I must say, because Darren, who was leading the race, well, for more than around 5 laps, has been leading, and he's gonna sit. Look at this, Leah with a big mistake going into turn 9. Now his teammate is gonna be all over his back, and the battle for the lead is getting a little bit closer. Look at this, Fembog. He's closing the gap very quickly indeed, and into turn 12 we go. Leah is in P7. His teammates, Scopes, is in P8. It's a battle between teammates. Now I wonder, well, I don't think we're gonna have any team orders here between them. Jimo goes up into 12th place. He is, of course, on fresh new softs. Let's take a look at the tire strategy between them. The top 4 are on a set of mediums. Halo is on a set of hards. Halo hasn't pitted, I believe. So wow, great stuff by him. He's probably waiting for a safety car, isn't he?
I was just gonna say that if he gets a safety car, I expect that a decent number of the top few guys will pit as well, and so I kind of plays him right into play with one less pit stop than the rest. But he might just be waiting and just.
Now finally.
Waiting too much. As now Scopes gets placed on Leah. I wonder whether that was orchestrated.
Ooh, I wonder. I mean, with the DRS and the slipstream, it's hard to judge because he was just so much quicker through the straight. I do believe that Leah probably wasn't fighting him too much because, of course, you're not crazy enough to fight your teammate. As I believe Lee Menz is making his way up into P15. He has the fastest lap of the race, and now with Zach Beast all over the back of him, it's quite an interesting battle to watch. Leah is also fighting his teammate there. Let's just keep an eye on them as well. And let's just see what happens in this race. Zach Beast is trying to put on a recovery drive. And well, let's see what Leah can do. Using the DRS, both of them really will help each other. Zacchaeus Beast gets a time penalty, and with the time penalties, they don't have the info of how many penalties they have.
Car.
And Zach Beast is out of the race, and I must wonder now, Sam, what happened?
I have no idea, and I've just seen something that Darren has done here. Darren has clearly had a little bit of a panic because he's just seen the safety car deployed. Darren sped up ridiculously fast to try and beat the safety car out of the pits, and he has done it, and that is going to make for a very interesting last portion of this race. All of these midfield cars are now in the pits. This plays so many people back into play, and we now have a mouth-watering climax of this race in prospect.
Sam, Halo is a bloody genius. Halo is a genius. He stayed out, he started on a hards, waited for the safety car, and luck is the name of the game. Well, just look at that.
Can we get the tyres out, please? Just to show how many people are pitted for fresh softs.
Look at that.
I expect all of the top four in for fresh softs as well. And
oh my god!
Scopes in as well, and that's just, that play. Owen and Scopes don't have penalties here, and that plays them certainly right into play. And it also plays Jimmo into play as well, because he pitted onto his softs only 2 or 3 laps ago, and sure, he didn't have the safety car stop, but he's still going to gain a decent bit. He's going to be ahead of Scopes here, and he's going to be right up there as well.
Let me tell you something, Sam. I'm just looking at this, and the safety car coming out at the worst possible time for the top 4. Top 5, I would say Scopes is, well, I believe, I don't know if it's, I believe Scopes pitted it already. So yeah, let's just take a look at the current tires. And you see how are the top 3 coming into the pits?
It's speeding in the pit lane, Owen.
Owen Howell gets a
What are you
5-second penalty.
What are you doing,
And
Owen?
now I wonder, where is Halo gonna come out? You see Owen changing his tires. Everyone in the top 4 will pit because they know that if they don't...
Scopes has also got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh my god! Scopes gets a 5-second time penalty. They're not going to be able to serve it. And with the safety car, they're all going to be almost up. That means that they're going to lose a lot of time. And with them pitting, oh my god, that means that, well, the top 4 can breathe. Because I really thought that they wouldn't be able to pit again and it would be on old hard.
They got very, very lucky. They got very, very lucky at the top 4 because Darren beat the safety car out by about 2 seconds. If Darren had just been 2 seconds further back to what he was, then the whole of the top 3 would, then all of the top 3 would have, they would have been caught up behind the safety car. They would have lost a massive amount of time to the guys behind them. But now they're not going to do that, and they're in a much better situation.
Oh, Sam, the safety car. Those final 7 laps, I gotta say, those laps will be very, very exciting indeed. I'm really looking forward to see what those final 7 laps, or I should say 6 laps of Formula 1 action, have in store for us. Everyone is joining the pack again. Darren is leading the Grand Prix. Let's just get the names up if you're wondering who are those drivers. Darren leads ahead of Fempass, Rockaman Howell, Jimmo, who's in P5, Halo ahead of Blaze, Cope, Smith, and Leah. So Teddy getting a time penalty under the safety car. Can you believe it? Wow.
That is a bit of a Teddy special, that one, I'm being honest. He's done that a few times in this league.
Well, I can't see Jimmo's tire condition, but he will be struggling.
But yeah. Okay. One thing I want to add is Owen must be absolutely kicking himself because he was penalty free up until he had the penalty for speeding in the pits, and now he has that 5-second penalty, and without that he would have probably been an effective P1 at the moment, but now he has that 5th place penalty. He's got to be looking over his shoulder instead. He's going to lose massively. Halo started in P11, Crispy. He did. Can we get the position changes up actually at the moment?
Oh yeah, of course. We can. Well, Alfie is in P11, I believe. He started P11.
No,
right?
no. Crispy asked where did Halo start, and so I said Halo started in P11.
I can show his. Well, I do have control over literally everything that happens on your screen, but apparently I don't have control over this. Of course I do. SSR Halo. Let's just take a look at his race so far. Started P11, moved up 5 places, pitted once, and is currently on a set of softs. So the Haas driver is really doing a fantastic race. One of the contenders for driver of the day, that is for sure.
As is Jimmo, who's up 12 places. Get an eye on Jimmo to see where he started this race.
Let's just take a look.
He's had a fantastic one himself.
He started 17th and he's up 12 positions, and he's currently in P5. Again, pitted once, but he is going to be the one struggling. I'm not sure if he's going to stay in P5 at this particular moment. Jimmo, his first race as a full-time driver for Renault, I believe. So yeah, that is something interesting, I will say. Well, let's just talk about Barlow, who's sitting at the moment in P13. Well, Barlow is, he's a champion. He's, I believe, the only champion that we have here. He's not a driver's champion, but he was a champion with Haas in Season 5. He was one at a time.
Who's that, sorry? Who's that, sorry?
That is SLR Barlow.
Oh, the stats have that mixed up. The stats have that mixed up. Barlow was at McLaren last season. Haas were the champions last season, the constructors champions. But Barlow was part of McLaren. Haas was me and Zach is Beast. Zach is Beast is the only champion, I believe, in this field.
Tell you what, the safety car is in this lap, Sam, so we will go back racing.
Hello.
As soon as Darren crosses the line, we will be ready for more Formula 1 action. Can Fempass retake his lead? Halo and Legend are changing some positions there, but here we go. Drama, the thriller. Darren should probably go out around, well, the run down towards turn 17. It should be now. It's quite early. He goes and he's off. We are back racing. Fempass got caught napping a little bit, but as he crosses the line, 1, 2, 3. Green flags have been waved in Russia, and Darren still leads the way. Any move, I might wonder what's gonna happen. And look at this, Legend and Scopes. I'm going on board now with Smith. Great view from the action here, and Scopes is gonna move. It's gonna stay in P7. Legend tried to have a go at him into turn 1. Just and down the inside goes Legend. Clips the back of his car. Legend gets a time penalty, and Jaras has not been activated. I apologize. Down the inside goes Smith through turn 3. What a move by Smith. What a fantastic move by the Williams. Is up into P8. Great stuff by himself. Leah is in P10 at this particular moment. Scopes is gonna be really under pressure. He has a couple of cars behind him. SSR Halo has Legend behind him, and look at this, the top 4 remain unchanged, Sam.
Yeah, Darren will want to try and break away from Fempest here, as the gap's now 1.1 seconds between the pair of them. It's going to be really, really tight here, but now Fempest is going to look over his shoulder to Rockamat. He had a bit of a gap off at the start, but now that gap has completely disappeared, and Fempest and Rockamat could duel out here, the 2 championship protagonists, as Jimmo and Halo are now battling here. Jimmo goes quite deep. Does Halo maybe try to switch back move here? Maybe he's better of it, and now Scopes to maybe think about a move.
Oh my goodness, look at
Scopes,
Smith again! Oh, Smith! Scott carving his way through the field, and up into P7 he goes. What a move by the Williams driver. That is simply sensational by all of those drivers. This is Division 2. This is my inaugural event, and I must say, if Division 2 is anyway like this, well, week in and week out, then my goodness, I'm gonna start watching this division every single week. SSR Halo is gonna try to defend from Smith going into turn 1. Smith doesn't, well, he's a patient driver. He's smart. He's gonna wait. Teddy's gonna move up into P16, and the driver who had the fastest lap, Lee Menz, is gonna drop down to P17 down there. I'm on board with Carl Smith, and at this point of the race, Smith is literally flying through this track, Sam.
Yeah, he was the driver who was the race winner on track in Division 3 here last season, when he was driving for the Haas team, but got up into Division 2 and is showing his worth there as well, as Barlow's just made a move on SLR Bunny here as well, that moves over to P12. The safety car has indeed saved Barlow's race. He has no penalties, and nor does Alfie ahead of him. And they're going to gain massively. As Halo's now making a move on Jimmo up into P5 here.
Oh, look at that. Between them, here we go, side by side. Jimmo, and he has going to lose a little bit of grip going through this corner. Scopes, I wonder if he does have damage. No, he doesn't. But he's going to try to tap down the inside going into turn 15. Not a great place to go for a move. And tell you what, he's not going to go for that fully by into turn 17. Here we go. Scopes on the inside. Halo on the outside. And look at this down the inside. Will two-wheel action between them. They're side by side through this lap. Getting a little bit squeezed, but still side by side. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the definition of racing. Halo is going to try to have a defend from Scopes going into turn 1. Here we go now into turn 2 actually. And Halo's going to get the DRS, but you see this slipstream, how important it is. How Scopes clips the back of Halo. Well, just like Kimi Raikkonen, but this is not real Formula 1. He's not going to lose any part from throttling. What a battle that we're seeing here, Sam.
Yeah, this is a sterling battle here. They're going at it, and unlike typical Division 2, as Bunny has said in the chat, that is some great racecraft on show. Oh, as Alfie nearly has a little spin and Leah gets past him for P10.
Oh, he spins! He's round! He's rounding off!
Alfie is round.
Alfie.
He's now in last position.
Did you see who he collided with there, Sam?
He collided with SLR Leah, I believe.
Oh my goodness. Everything is happening. This Grand Prix, when I say everything, I mean it. Alfie retires on track. As you can clearly see, I wonder if that's a penalty. Hicklin is going to try to defend and attack Teddy. Defending from Barlow. Barlow, here we go. Round the outside as Hicklin gets a time penalty. And what a move. A lot of moves going on happening into turn 13 and 14. And this is very... I'm not going to say interesting again. If I say it again, I'm going to slap myself in the face. You see the positions gained.
This is the battle for the lead, because Darren has one more penalty than these guys. Fembest and Rockamad. Rockamad has more ERS. Here we go.
Oh,
Rockamad is going to try around the outside into turn 2. Fembest breaks later. Did they make contact?
No, they didn't.
Rockamad slides his way through and moves himself up into P2, and I do believe that could be the race win.
Oh, look at that! What a battle for P5 for Jimmo. He's defending from 2 drivers at once. He's a one-man army here. Scopes trying to defend. Into turn 4 we go. Now we're gonna set that down inside. Scopes incarnates Hamilton and tries to go for a move. Jimmo is not gonna let that happen, but FanPass lost the lead of the Grand Prix. Darren has a penalty. I can confirm, well, Sam can confirm Halo's gonna try. Desperately try to go for a move into turn 7. He's not gonna find any pacer there. Oh my goodness, don't trust the leaderboard is showing that nothing there, but here we go. A time penalty for Kyle Smith. Everything is going on. What a Grand Prix. I really miss seeing this type of Formula 1 action. And well, FanPass is really on the back of Rockamad. Can you please, Sam, give me an update on the penalties on the drivers on the top 10?
We've got Darren's got 6, Rockamad and FanPass have 3, Owen has 5 out of the top 2. And here, there's a reason why Jimmo is absolutely defending for his life here, and that is because he does have he doesn't have that many penalties himself, and he will keep most of these positions if he can hold this position, and he's done an absolutely brilliant job at that so far.
Yeah, Scopes is now all over the back of Jimmo, and now Jimmo has no help ahead of him. Into turn 1 we go, into turn 2 we go now, and can Scopes get anything ahead of him? He has no ERS to play with, but he's gonna try to go for it anyways. Down the inside goes Scopes. What a bold move by Scopes. Go on, lad, get the position. No, he's not gonna be able to do it, or is he? I'm telling you, Scopes is really coming in for the move. And into turn 3, he's gonna go for the switch back into turn 4. Can you believe it? Lock up by Jimmo into turn 4, into turn 5 actually. Scopes is gonna try to go on the inside. He's not gonna be able to do it. SSR Halo is gonna watch this battle between them and just wonder when can I join the battle between them. Everywhere you look in the Grand Prix, there's a battle happening. Oh, a little bit of an oversteer for SLR. Scopes is gonna struggle through the first 26 lap of the Grand Prix. Jimmo is struggling. Smith is moving up places, going very wide indeed and ahead of the Red Bull of a legend. He is a legend indeed. As I can see, Scopes is now under pressure. Bunny's going to lose a position to Barlow. What is going on? There's a battle going on at the front as well.
Yeah, this is absolutely crazy. And look at this. Darren and Rockamad are separated by basically nothing here. Rockamad wants this win on track. He does not want to rest on his laurels in case he gets another penalty himself. And he wants to take this win outright.
Into the
We're entering the final lap of the
mate.
race now.
Sam, now Rockamad, all he has to do is to overtake Darwin and just stay ahead of him because FinPass is not anywhere near him. And Rockamad, if he's gonna win it, he's gonna do it on track. Rockamad moves up to first place and leads the Grand Prix. Now,
Let's cut back to the battle for fifth, I think.
Oh, look at that. Oh, into turn 2 we go. J-Mo's gonna try to defend, but there's everyone fighting. They're gonna throw everything they possibly can. It's the final lap of the race. Fantastic stuff. Barlow gets a time penalty. There's a battle here. FanPass is closing in very fast indeed on Darren actually, and Rockamad. There's a couple of battles going on there. Back there, actually, Leah's gonna move up into P8. Look at Smith. Look, Smith is losing some places. What's happening with him, Sam?
I
Smith
don't
is
know.
down to
I wonder
12.
whether he's run out of fuel, maybe. I don't know. He's dropped way down all of a sudden. It's a very weird one, but...
Meanwhile, his teammate Blaze is trying to have a go on the Haas ahead of him. Rockamad now, well, I don't think there's anything separating him and victory unless he gets a time penalty, and that would be simply awful. Let's just take a look at him now. Well, Rockamad, this man, he is second in the championship. He has won the Grand Prix once, well, sorry, I should say twice this season, and this should be his third one. Now rounds the final corner. Rockamad started second, crosses the line. Rockamad wins the Grand Prix. FemPass is gonna finish third. I believe Darla, is that third for FemPass?
That is P3 for FemPest as Owen has come home in P4 after his penalties. And down there's even more changes even after the full-time whistle has blown.
Oh
I guess you could say.
God.
And SLR Halo has got P5, Leah P6, Barlow shot up to P7, Scopes in P8 at the end of the day, and yes, SSR Halo, I did say that he didn't have many penalties, and he's certainly
now
had a fantastic race because of those.
Now,
But
Sam,
the race winner is Rockamad.
sorry to interrupt you, mate. I was just gonna say, now it is time for you guys to vote for driver of the day. Who do you think is the driver of the day? I'm gonna ask this question to Sam, but I'm looking at the stream chat. I want to hear your opinions. Who do you think was the driver of the day of today's Russian Grand Prix? Who was yours, Sam?
Ooh, I'm gonna say, for me, kind of the perfect mix of racecraft and staying clean and keeping on the track. I'm gonna say Halo.
Halo.
For me, Halo. I mean, he's only gone up 6 places. Jimmo's gone up a few more, and Jimmo did finish at the head of that queue, but to be able to do all of those battles in that absolutely hectic midfield and come through with a P5 position is a fantastic drive from Halo. Risking it on those hard tyres, still keeping up decent pace, and then making the opportunity count and finishing in that P5 is a very, very mature drive from Halo, and I'm sure he'll be very, very happy with his drive.
Yeah, I can clearly see Sam's gonna get himself a beer. I'm looking at the stream chat, and let's just hear what you guys think. Who do you guys think? Dingo Dolphins says Rockamad. That is interesting. That is I mean, with interesting again. Well, that is whatever. Interesting. Kill for KFC says Halo. So I do think that it is gonna be between Halo and Rockamad, maybe. Now that's what we're gonna do. Is everyone in the party?
Darren had messaged me saying that his mic was playing up, so I don't think Darren will be joining us, sadly.
So
That's we don't. It does it automatically. You don't need to tick a box.
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah,
So we're all good.
I'm gonna start off with the Mercedes of FemPass. And if you have anything to add, Sam, you can ask as well. Mate, you are leading the championship. You've had a fantastic championship so far. You got yourself your 16th pole position of your career. You must be thrilled with that, but you couldn't convert that into a win. You got P3, still a good result. Let us know your thoughts on today's Grand Prix, and also with Rockamat sitting in first place and at the top of the podium at the end of the race, do you think he could be a threat going into the final rounds, or are you not worried about that?
Nah, I'm not worried. He ain't good enough, mate. Simple as that. He'll bottle. Nah, we get on really well, so I'm sure we'll be laughing about that. But nah, yeah, he's causing a threat. He's a threat every week. I think he needs to thank whoever brought that last safety car out, because that turned me to a bag of nerves, and I made so many mistakes. All I had to do was sit behind Darren, stay with him 3 seconds, and the win was mine. But the bloody safety car, Div 2, happens every week. Out it came. And yeah, but it was good fun, and it was nice. Did you say 16th pole position?
It is your 16th pole of your career.
That's pretty cool.
Okay. Anything to add, Sam?
Yes, I just want to say, just of course, your championship lead's taken a little bit of a hit, but obviously, of course, after the departure of Craig as well, it's still currently sitting at around about 60-ish points. It does mean that I believe the first possible place you can win it is USA, so no Japan victory. In terms of the title for you, are you thinking about that at the moment, or are you just thinking race by race? You said you had a bit of nerves at the end. Is that perhaps due to just the race itself, or is that perhaps due to the championship at the end of it?
It's just the race itself. I'm not going to get too ahead and start thinking about the championship just yet. It's within stealing distance, you know what I mean? So I'd be an idiot to start thinking it's in the bag. It was a comfortable race, and then the safety car came out, which, just having that Renault of Rockamad up your rear is never nice, because you know he's not going to leave you alone. So I tried absolutely everything to stay in front. I burnt my ERS way too quick. I made far too many mistakes. I picked up an extra penalty, and it just driving nervously after that safety car just cost me potentially a win, a P2, but it happens. But still good points. Got faster laps. There's an extra point there. That might come down to the wire. You never know. It might really help. But yeah, like I say, with the Renault Rockamad sitting up your chuff, just makes you nervous.
Yes, a great drive from yourself, nonetheless. Sadly, Darren can't join us to talk about his race. I'm sure his input would have been fantastic for the race as well, given that he was a major part of that leading battle, and a driver, you have to say, who is definitely one that is providing a lot of entertainment in this division. So I guess we'll move on to the race winner, Rockamad. I can't remember for the life of me how many wins you have this season, Rockamad. It might be win number 4, I want to say. That's my guess. I don't know.
I know that. I know the stat. Just saying. That's actually his 3rd win of the season. So yeah. Do you wanna go first, Sam?
Yes. Firstly, just talk us through the start. We saw you lost a couple of positions, and then you managed to avoid a bit of carnage, and that kind of caused you to drop back a little bit from the leading 2. Kind of how was that first lap? Obviously, you had a really good getaway last week from the line and got Dorsey off the line, but this week you didn't quite have the same fortune with the start.
No, I got a bit of wheel spin, but Dorsey off the line last week, I think, was pretty terrible, even for his standards. So no, I did average, but Darren just went flying. That came out of nowhere. And then I nearly rammed him into the back in T1, and then virtual safety car came out, and Owen managed to just be ahead of me for that. So it wasn't the best start, but I managed to get back past Owen, but then I couldn't drop him either. So I just was kind of happy with P3 at that point, and just trying to stay ahead, really.
Yes, and then talk us through those last about 5 or 10 laps under that safety car. What I bet you were kind of whooping for joy with that safety car, knowing that you could perhaps put Dorsey under pressure, and that is exactly what you did to be able to take the victory. How did you manage to cope with those last 5-10 laps?
Yeah, that was a godsend, that safety car. So thank you to whoever caused that. Yeah, I was struggling whether to pit or not. Decided to pit. And then I knew it brought me closer. Owen got been in the pit lane, which was again lucky, really. He had no pens at all. Close. And then it was just I didn't think either it'd be close, but Dorsey didn't quite have the pace that I expected him to have. I managed to get past him, and then somehow I had better pace than Darren as well. So a bit unexpected, really.
Yes, and that of course is exactly what you needed now. I believe the gap between you and Dorsey is kind of mid-60s in terms of points, and you've now firmly become his closest challenger. If this was the AlphaTauri team of last season, then you'd absolutely sweep the constructors in Division 2. It's a real turnaround from you two last season, I must say.
Yeah, we've talked about it quite a lot. Should have happened, really.
Get us together next season. Bring the team back.
Yes, a great result from you, Rockamad, and yes. Do you want to add anything, Matt?
I mean, it's his third win. The last time he won was in Italy. I really don't have anything to add apart from, do you have hope that at one point in this final, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 5 rounds, do you have any hope of a championship chance, or do you think you're just trying to collect wins and trying to get your best results because, well, FemPass is too far ahead? What do you think about the championship?
No, he's too far ahead. There's only 5 rounds, and even if he gets some Div 2 luck, he'll still score more points. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss at least 1 or 2 rounds. So no, I'm just enjoying it, really. I'm doing it for the good racing, like today. If it's like this every week, I didn't care how the championship goes. So no, I've conceded it mentally, but you never know.
Yes, it's certainly been some good. SLR bottle job has turned into multiple SLR winner this season. You've stopped spinning and you've started winning.
Yeah,
Like that.
change.
Okay, lads. So yeah, I see a lot of Jimmo, I see a lot of Rockamad, a lot of Halo in the stream chat, so it's going to be quite interesting. But that is it. As I see some people leaving out the stream, I will leave as well. So thank you everyone for watching the stream. Thank you, Sam, once again for commentating alongside me. Today's Grand Prix was a fantastic one. And, well, not sure if that's a one-off. If it is, it was great to commentate this league. Not this league, but this division. But next week, we will have Japan. So if you like high-speed corners and a classic track, you're going to love that one. We do have Japan next week. So, well, that is it for me. And I'll probably see you guys there. See ya.